Okay, you realise that we're trying to get this off the ground, and
Yeah, I should.
I can't continue to provide guests. But you saw Brock McLean and you didn't ask him. So you saw a former AFL player with a good social reach who would just about be the perfect fit, and you just decided not to ask him.
Do you just want to blow into that mic a little bit more, Ben?
I am kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, Brock McLean. I asked him, and he said, "Get the fuck out of my face."
Magoos viewers, welcome. Round 8 is upon us. We are here back on the couch. We're enemies this week, Ben.
Yeah,
like the great Cooter and the moderate James Hird. We are head to head this weekend. Both teams need a win.
Saturday
we don't have
afternoon.
Any, Carlton don't have any, so
yeah, it's gonna be absolutely awful weather as well.
Yeah,
at the MCG on a Saturday afternoon.
Prime time.
Not gonna be great. I think viewers.
No, especially no Joe. Of course,
no Joe.
Man,
out
Joe's
with the OP. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'm not happy about that, to be honest. I think someone that age should be rested.
Should not be injured. Is that what you think?
No. I'm thinking if you're injured, then you shouldn't be playing from the start.
Okay, so do you think that all his woes have come from his OP?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
And he's already came out during the week and said that he's not blaming it on OP or anything like that. There's more to it. I don't think he's getting delivery. I think it's a bit stiff, although he clearly hasn't been himself, I think. And I'm hoping it has a lot to do with this injury, and I'm hoping it's not like is Joe actually any good?
Didn't mean to go down the Joe
No, we're not going
down with you, but
Joey. Joey's more than welcome to come on the podcast whenever he likes. Just come around for a beer. I'll
just hang out.
Yeah.
I've got another question for you, and by another I mean the first one I'll ask you tonight. Is the tackle dead?
It's well and truly,
so
it's fucked.
Long, people have been saying the bump's dead, whatever. And then Ryan Burton bumps someone, and yes, it was a head clash, but gets off.
Someone
and
said
then
he should have tackled.
Tackles someone, and
should have bumped him.
Bump him. Especially when you're bigger, just bump.
That one really shits me. I think I reckon that's very, very stiff. I get the arguments and whatnot, but I just think for me, everyone they say that the onus is on the tackler. That's fine. He had one arm free and he chose to hold on to the footy.
It's just a hard tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he had no prior anyway. If you dropped that footy and protected your own, I think the onus is on you to protect your own head at the same time. Like obviously, if you get hit from behind or if it's a bump, something like that, you can't help that. Mm-hmm. But in that situation, he did have one arm free and chose to hold on to the footy. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the field, clearly, but a little pissed off because I think that he could have protected himself.
Yeah, I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. I just don't get where they can. I've liked the work of the match review officer, Michael Christian, so far this year.
Me too.
I've sort of been able to, make sense of everything he's done, which has been good, which you didn't usually get with the old system. But yeah, I just think that if you're not suspending a guy for bumping, but then you are for tackling, I just think that it starts to those grey areas.
It's just not even grey area. I think the whole area is grey.
Speaking of tribunals, which is not where we want to be all the time. We don't want to just be talking about tribunals, and I wouldn't mind getting Jack's biased opinion on this at some stage.
Hit me.
Tom Hawkins. Is that what the umpire said to Tom Hawkins? No. Tom Hawkins pushed the umpire's hand away, just made contact.
Just because you squint while you say it doesn't make it
just
right.
not as...
I don't think you should have done it at all.
Yeah, well, look,
No
I agree. You probably can't touch official. You definitely can't.
Yeah.
And I think Tom realised that, and they were talking that they came to an agreement before the tribunal pretty much, and they said, I'm happy to cop a week, and...
I reckon Hawkins is... Sorry, I know you asked Jack the question, but I reckon Hawkins is lucky that Griffin, during that footage, pushes his hand away as he touches the umpire. I reckon it's going to be more forceful than it actually was going to be.
You reckon he could have done some damage?
Well, I don't think he wasn't going to kill the man, but, you can't touch the umpires at the end of the day. Sorry, Jack, that question was directed at you. What did you think?
No. It's fair enough. Fair enough in the end, when you think about it, but it's just... pretty shit that someone has to miss a game for it. I thought we got Collingwood this week. Need a big presence down forward. Menzel's still out.
Yeah,
it just sucks that it's just a little flick of the hand.
But you've got a no touch rule. We're not allowed to touch you as the producer. We're not allowed to come over there and touch you. So I think it's
that's why I sit off camera.
Yeah,
I got a 2 metre exclusion zone. It's really hard to get in here when we all arrive at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't help with the show dynamic, but
yeah.
It's really hurting us, isn't it? Anyway, we move on with as also staying on Geelong.
Yeah.
Hawkins out, Ablett in.
Son of God.
Bang. The
Sog.
son of God. Well, Hawkins, thankfully, Gary, thankfully will never have to go to the tribunal for a tackle because he doesn't lay any. So good to have him in. That's all I've got to say about that.
You can't tackle anyone when you've got ball the whole time. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's not a bad point.
I guess so. But it is good to see the best players playing, I think. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
That should be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what else will be a good game is that North Melbourne and Richmond. I reckon that North might not win, but they'll be all right this weekend.
Okay, well, just stay tuned a little bit later in the show.
Someone
might have a special segment on North Melbourne, so I don't want to say too much. But
speaking of, I don't want to say segment. It's not a segment, but I did pick up another thing about North Melbourne.
Okay.
In particular, Ben Brown again. Now, I don't want to pick on Ben Brown because I do love him. I think he's an excellent forward, excellent player. However, I figured out during the week why his run-ups are so long. It's not because of his goal kicking. It's actually because he wants to get far away enough from everyone so he can let off a little cheeky fart. Now, I have some footage here. If you want to just have a roll the footage, we'll just see here. He goes back, just coming up now.
Mark.
It was good, Mark. Just watch carefully. The poor cameraman behind him here.
Probably not too much in that free kick while we're actually looking at it.
Oh, mate, Penny, what was... Bro, Brownie just gave us a little...
Even let a little
flicker,
sigh at the end.
Yeah, I reckon I'm on to Ben Brown. I reckon that's why he gets the run-up.
He's on your radar, isn't he? He'd want to be very careful.
It's because I love watching him. That's why he's on my radar. But it was right in the kissing. And the poor cameraman, 3 to 4 weeks out with pink eye, apparently. But, yeah.
So, Ben, you just finished speaking about North Melbourne, showing us some interesting footage of Ben Brown's latest habit, which you're all over. It's time for the famous Magoos moment of the week segment.
I'm looking forward to this one. You were talking to me earlier about it before the show. You said you had a cracking one lined up. I just want to...
Okay.
Let us...
Okay, this is where we're... Don't start this, Ben, because you're the one that doesn't read the group inbox. So
I read it every now and then.
So I've gone this week for... I think their weekend's effort highlighted the fact that we've really overlooked them a lot so far this year. North Melbourne, they win the Magoos moment of the week. They had a huge win over Sydney up there. Probably the hardest road trip in footy, I think.
Yeah, although Sydney's start haven't been great there this year, but you are still correct.
Let's not spoil the good story. So Mason Wood's been playing in the VFL. He had a pretty good year last year, showed some promise, but then obviously, there was a few reasons why he wasn't in the side. I don't think he was working hard on it. Too handsome. Yep. Okay, that's your opinion. But
it's objective that. No,
they've had a huge win over Sydney up there. North Melbourne have always sort of been a side distraction, I think, for my even when they were playing in prelims, everyone sort of thought, well, they're not going to win, are they? They always had that sort of aura about them. And I mean, they're 4-3. They sit 7th. Brad Scott is coaching out of his skin and has got this group playing some really, really good footy. And I think that was absolutely shown through in the way that they beat Sydney. Sydney, 2 points, a real underdog moment. And that's this week, as you said, it was a cracking instalment of the Magoos moment of the week.
I love it.
But North Melbourne Footy Club, the Magoos moment of the week this week.
Congratulations.
An underrated winner.
Yeah, I do think it's a bit of a backhanded compliment to them because it's the Magoos moment of the week, which is a great award, but you're also collectively being told that it was a little bit out of their skin, as you're saying. Mm-hmm. You look at their list. As much as I was in denial for quite some years, my whole life, but they're actually they're not bad. Good back line, forward line that is clicking,
potent. Their forward line.
Yep. Yeah.
And the midfield, and Sean Higgins is playing well in the middle. Goldstein's playing pretty well.
Yeah.
So
Goldie's back.
I mean, they won't make the finals.
Okay.
They won't finish in there.
Okay.
But
I'm not sure.
They're playing some good footy.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Very good.
It's actually time here now, Ben, for something that you have been feverishly working away at, and you're debuting a new segment.
Not just myself, but our producer Jack as well has been working very hard behind the scenes with sort of a little new, little segment where we could squeeze in here. It'll be real quick. Might involve a video. I like videos. They're
it's a visual
Yeah, they're
That's
fun.
what a video is. It's
They're fun to
visual.
make.
Hot take. Ben loves videos.
Yeah.
And
Carry
videos are visual.
Yeah, I like movies as well. Just to put that out there. Long videos.
What's the new
basically.
segment, Ben?
The new segment is called Magoominati.
Ah, I like it.
No,
Well, I'm not sure what that was.
that was
that
really
meant to be the
bad.
X-Files?
I've got a bit of it was. I've been practicing it, and that was just.
Back to the drawing board. That's
Sounded
okay.
like a scene from Titanic.
It did. It sounded very like orchestral. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Orchestral.
Orchestral.
Anyway,
I think
I
Jake
feel
was
like we've been
correct on that
derailed
one.
a few times.
But,
Here.
um,
Get into it, Benny.
God.
We've been working very hard on this one, so hard that I don't really have an intro to what it is. It's just take your own sort of opinion. We'll have a look. But on the weekend, last weekend, we had Brandon Materia from Freo. Now, this would have been talked about a little bit on a few other shows, but I don't think that they have the Magoominati insights that we have here.
The conspiracy sort of radar.
Few have the insights that we have. I'm noticing.
We have some great insights that I can't discuss at the moment. But yeah, everyone would have been talking about what happened with Brandon Materia, who's lining up for goal. We'll just show a little bit of footage here now, him lining up. And bang! A bloody pigeon
In the
gets
way.
in the way. Who would have thought, Jake?
That's
A
incredible.
pigeon. Now, to the naked eye, looks like this pigeon's a bit of a lone wolf, doesn't it? I can tell you that in this case, it is not a lone wolf at all.
Great. Here we go.
Or a
This will be
lone
good.
pigeon, I should say. That's fucking terrible. Anyway, yeah, I can break the news now that this pigeon has been actually brainwashed by the Magoominati. We just see, we're going to roll some other footage of who the real culprit was, just right here. There it is. There she is.
Okay. Yeah.
That bitch from Home Alone. This is the crazy pigeon lady from Home Alone.
And you think that?
Bitch from home.
Sorry.
So
She
you
turned out to be lovely, but in this case,
turned out to be lovely, but she's still eyeing off Brandon Material's set shot.
well, the
Regained
word
those-
on the Magoominati is that Dimmer actually paid her to put that pigeon there and put off Brandon Matera. They ended up winning by 77 points, but still Magoominati.
Yeah. So now that I've seen what this Magoominati's about, I feel like maybe you should have run it by me and I could have helped you give it some context at the start. So it's a little bit of the weird and wacky from the AFL world sort of thing. Would you
Sort
go
of.
with? You
Well,
know,
we don't-
something a little
I don't
bit
wanna-
not quite right.
I don't
Something
want to
you'll
lock it
notice
in
that-
case it's hard to find material in coming weeks.
Okay, well, trust me, it gets hard to find material. Ben, after it stayed in the family last week, the Cane Corns of the Week award, I'm going to throw it over to you to deliver this week's recipient.
Yeah, I can't believe we've looked at the run sheet and you've given me 2 segments in a row. This is...
Wasn't my doing,
No,
that's
it
for sure.
definitely wasn't your doing. You wouldn't give me any in a row if it was up to you. Anyway, the Cane Corns of the Week, so round 8. It does get a bit emotional here
Seems
sometimes.
like a you issue.
Yeah, it's actually me. Yeah. Anyway, Cane Corns of the Week, round 8, goes to your man and your man, producer Jack, Patrick Dangerfield.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
How?
Absolutely how. Is there anything more Cane Corns look at me than electing not to wear a uniform? You tell me.
Pardon?
A uniform, Jake, is something that everybody wears in that said team. But on the weekend, last Friday night, he decided not to go along with the orange socks because, quote, his cars were too big. Jake, what a load of shit that is.
Just a bit
You
of
don't have-
insight, they were for the charity game, which probably makes him even a little bit more of a
Well,
flog.
that's what I was going to say. That makes you
Yeah.
more of a flog because if it is for charity, the least and you wear your socks up normally, that's fine. But for charity, unless you're superstitious, but he doesn't strike me for a superstitious kind of guy. I think pull the socks down and wear them. You're not trying to get it over your head, not
what
your
if
calves.
his size came and it was a bit small?
He's what?
His socks came, the size was a bit small.
Well, that's what he's saying, but he's
Yeah, so
saying he
that's
wants
what
them
he
over his
says has happened.
calves.
Yeah, because they were too small.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, well, I don't think you do.
No, I don't think you do. I think his ego has gotten the better of him.
It's got the what of it?
What, you think he-
Better of him. It's getting me worked up. Just thinking
Yeah.
about him, just stressing. No, he's copping it. He's getting it. I think.
Okay, well, let's start ordering you small clothes.
Well, if
see how
okay,
long
all
you wear
right. Put it this way: if we actually got a T-shirt that said the Magoos on it, and I decided not to wear it because it made me look a little bit chubby,
because
so-
it was the wrong size.
Okay. Again, we're talking about calves, not your shoulders.
So your leg. Okay, it doesn't matter.
I've seen his calves. They're not that big.
I think
They're not that big.
you're just a little jealous, Ben.
I like Patrick. That's the thing. I said that to.
No, not of Patrick, of the clothes, but like not fitting, because you're notorious for having one small body part, aren't you, mate?
What, my bum? My pancake ass.
Yeah,
That's exactly
the
what
non-existent,
it was. Yeah.
all back.
All back, yeah.
I think you're just
I
a little bit.
LeMayo'd one too many times. Let's put it that way. But Kane Corns of the week, round 8, whether you love him or not. I knew he was going to get backlash because of you, but still, Paddy, I usually love you, but Kane Corns of the week, mate. Wear the uniform. That's what uniform means.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm not sure that's the definition of uniform. Well, I'm not retweeting this week's episode after that.
In case Paddy watches.
Well, just in case anyone watches.
Oh,
No, that's not right. Okay, Ben, we're coming to the end of the show again. You and me are barely on speaking terms, which is how we like to end the show. Last week, you said that your game of the round was Geelong GWS, and that was a fizzer. I said West Coast Port Adelaide, which probably didn't stand up to the heights that I would have liked when Brisbane Collingwood was the game of the round. No, on a Sunday evening. What do you got for us this week? What's the one you're looking forward to the most?
There's a couple, but I'm going to, in case I say the one that you're going to say, I'm going to say North versus Richmond is my one.
Yep.
I think that would be a cracking game. I think Richmond will do what they've been doing and play 4 quarters and probably will get up again just based off how hard they work and their talent. But I think North can definitely take it to them. Yeah.
I'm going for an easy kill with the showdown, I think. Yep. I noticed you had it written down as the derby there, but the showdown...
it says derby.
The showdown. But what I don't understand about it, one's played in Perth. That's the difference. The other one's played in Adelaide. Yeah. I don't understand why that's the 5:10 Saturday afternoon game. Whereas
that's some poor scheduling.
Yeah, I would have thought it's a Saturday nighter. Even a Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, Hawthorn Sydney tonight following us is good. But, I mean, that's a marquee setup. I mean, especially when you're complaining about the quality of football. I think that's one that could definitely
100%.
be.
Do you think it's an interstate thing?
Time slot. Well, I mean, their time difference is not that.
Yeah, but
what is
more,
half an hour, if anything?
Their viewers, not so much the game, but people who view. I don't know. I'm trying to.
I don't know. I
wrap
just
my
think
head around it,
5:10 that time slot is the game that gets lost every week. That's usually a Gold Coast sort of game.
It is.
You know, one of those smaller market teams play by. And I think that's a showdown time, especially the Saturday night games aren't overly. Great ones. But
who you got for tonight's game?
I have got. I'm going to take Sydney.
Yeah, think I'll bounce back.
I just think maybe I rate Sydney too highly, but they don't often lose too many games in a row. And I mean, Hawthorn are a pretty good side, but it should be a good game of footy. I mean, Hawthorn-Sydney, it's always a bit of a long-standing sort of duel, a rivalry. So hopefully some good footy on a Friday night game. We've had a couple of ordinary showings in a row, which doesn't do much for our ratings, I've noticed.
It means we're due.
Yeah, people aren't watching because the game afterwards isn't that's good. So
that's what I was told by people too.
So thank you all very much as I drop my book here. Ben, pretty good show.
Been a pleasure, mate.
Jack, thanks again. You're much more opinionated this week than in other weeks. I noticed you've been a little bit crook. So good to have you back on deck and
thanks for giving it to me.
With your opinions flowing, and he's hoping I don't catch it next. Carlton Essendon this weekend. Good luck.
To you too.
I mean that with absolutely no sincerity. Hopefully Carlton win. It will make for a great show next week. So thanks very much for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That's it. Didn't want to. Thanks for joining. Yeah, should be good.
I was biting
Come on, see you next week, Jack.
I just thought saying thank you at the end, you were going to crack it. I just thought, you always got to have